Good blessed Saturday morning, February the 17th, 2024. It's about 7:52 a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessing of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. Doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do. That's your prerogative. You have a in the 14th Amendment right to the United States Constitution to speak as you please freely in a peaceful manner, to protest in a peaceful manner, to gather together in a peaceful manner, and to associate with whom you please in a peaceful manner. Long as you're not breaking the law where it says in certain states and certain counties that convicted felons can't associate with each other. But today is a real important day. I want you all to listen to every last one of these videos that I put together on this particular one today, because it's going to show you something about Barry Morgan, at the captain at the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department, and the sheriff himself, Brenton Farrell, and some of the other law enforcement officials, to show you how they left one of their own for dead back in March in 2017. It also gonna show you some videos showing that the sheriff himself, Brenton Farrell, after Captain Barry Morgan and some more of the sheriff deputies and sheriffs ran and left a wounded sheriff deputy who led the charge in on a drug deal back in March of 2017, David Watkins, the hero, when he got shot. He went in first, he got shot, and he was down. And you can see all these other sheriff and some of the sheriff deputy, Captain Barry Morgan is one of them, ran and left him in there for dead. The man had to shoot the suspect who had an AR-15. I want y'all to watch it clearly. Then after this here incident in 2017, you gonna see some other incidents with Barry Morgan after he cowardly ran. The military teach you not to run. Law enforcement officials teach you not to run and leave one of yours wounded there. But you're going to see the sheriff, Brenton Farrell, allowing Barry Morgan to not give a guy a warning, a white guy now, tased him. Then when the man was down, did something that you taught in school not to do, put the taser to the man's neck while he's down. Then you hear the sheriff himself, Brenton Farrell, said, roll over, like he a dog, roll over before I break your arm. But y'all pay close attention to this here. I'm sitting out here in front of the Mississippi County Jail here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, where Sheriff Brenton Farrell, shouldn't be sheriff, Brenton Farrell and Captain Barry Morgan on February the 16th, 2023 in Charleston, Missouri, was allowed to be among federal agents, local and state agencies when they carried out warrants in Charleston, Missouri on a so-called alleged gang called the Knot Boys. How is Barry Morgan or Brenton Farrell allowed to go over there on them particular warrants when they can't even govern here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County? But I want y'all to just pay close attention. Here it is, they letting criminals. Barry Morgan is a convict. Barry Morgan, you can see after he ran and fled when it was gunfire, all of them you seeing running down them stairs, that ain't no movie. What was KFVS 12 on that? They ain't showing that, but they gonna ride around with the law enforcement officials when they going to get a bunch of blacks to arrest. They probably 20 years old, but I'm not justifying them. But let's get some coverage on what these individual law enforcement is doing here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, especially these cowards, leaving a man for dead, then tasing a man, then beating up a man. But Barry Morgan, since March of 2017, when he ran and left David Watkins in that house with that felon that had an AR-15, left him for dead, and the man was shot. One of his co-workers was shot, and you see all of them running down the stairs. Barry Morgan was one of them. But since then, Barry Morgan has been in the black community. On September the 3rd, 2023, you'll see him on the basketball court in the black community in Lincoln School, threatening to mace our young teenagers, 13, 14, and 15 years old. You will see a Barry Morgan tasing the guy, putting the taser to his neck while he on the ground, and the sheriff, his boss, ain't said nothing. His boss made Nicholas Pratt on December the 7th, 2022, let an individual by the name of Lester Gillespie go after Lester Gillespie committed a burglary and an assault in front of the sheriff deputy. That made that sheriff deputy quit. But this is how they honor individuals here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. Y'all follow that real close now.
I got a video several months ago. And when I received it, nobody knew on the planet that I even had it. When you do what I do for a living, you get stuff like this all the time. So I sent this video to 4 different academies in 4 different states and got the opinion of 4 different directors. I'll tell you what they said here in just a minute. But that video and that green screen, they can change just like... Now that video is disturbing, and there's 2 types of stories in this video. But first I want to tell you what these academy directors told me in 4 different states. And I quote, if these officers would have been trained by our academy and this video would have emerged, the officers in the video, except one, would have all been recommended for immediate termination by the commission. These are 4 directors in 4 different states. The 2 stories in this video is there is one hero, the first guy in. The cool thing about him is I'm not going to name his name today, but I did a 1-hour on-camera interview with him that you're going to see later. The second story is of a coward, somebody that doesn't have any integrity, that doesn't run towards the fight, somebody who leaves his own person behind. One of the academy directors said to me directly, you're taught in the military and in the police academy that you never leave one of your own behind. Never.
That obviously everybody just watched. Tell us, and you've got and seen the video, tell us who you were in the video.
I was the first guy in the stack going up the stairwell. We were going to serve a search warrant in an apartment complex. I pointed to the door on the right. They said, no, the one straight in front of me. I hit the door back of my hand, announced sheriff's office, and I kicked the door open, and I was shot.
Well, so you were shot immediately upon the entry of the door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell us the story of from coming outside to going upstairs to the door.
At that time, Corey Hutchinson, who was the sheriff, advised me to park down the street and make sure Chevy Avalanche did not leave the residence. So I parked down the street about a block and a half away. He said we were going to execute a search warrant. So I went down there, myself and Deputy Borders went down there in my patrol vehicle, and we sat approximately block and a half away, just where we could see the Chevy Avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the radio traffic. They said we're coming into Wyatt. And they said we're turning on the Brown Street in Wyatt. They turned on Brown Street. They come to the back of the residence, and they said it's a go. We exited my patrol vehicle. We run up on foot. We went in through the garage, up the stairwell, and that's when I pointed to the wrong door, and they said, no, it's the other door. And like I say, I hit the door, breached the door, and I was shot.
Okay. When you was coming, obviously there was a powwow before you went up the staircase. I mean, was there like a huddle between you?
No, sir.
Explain that there was nothing.
I wasn't even advised that he had camera systems or guns. They just advised me to go up the stairwell. They needed into the apartment building, into the door. Me and myself and Deputy Borders at the time were together in the vehicle. We didn't get briefed on anything.
Nothing. It's just, and you got to remember, nobody's going to be able to hear me talk, so you've got to tell this story because the mic's on you.
All right.
So, let me ask it like this. So, if I were to say how this all began from the beginning, how would you describe it before the door breach?
We had parked in front of the residence, run up to execute a search warrant, went into the garage, made a left on the stairwell, made a right on the stairwell, come up to a landing that was probably a 3x5 landing. And when I breached the door, shots just started firing. I mean, the bullets started flying. I had made it into the residence and fell into an open door in the bedroom. I landed on my stomach and my chest, and by the time I got up and rolled over, everybody else in the stairwell was gone.
So you're saying that all of the deputies that were with you, including Corey Hutchinson and Rick Walters, they were all flying and fleeing.
When I rolled
and you've
over,
seen the video.
Yes. When I rolled over, there was nobody in the stairwell.
So you went and help explain. So when you breached that door,
yes, sir,
and you laid flat,
yeah, it was like being hit with a house brick. It took my leg back behind me, and I fell face first. It's how I ended up falling. And then I rolled over to my back and looked at the stairwell, and there was nobody there. And I don't know how many seconds or minutes, I didn't time it, but in that time, a black and white pit bull and a girl wrapped in a blanket come to where the door was open, and she looked back into the living room area. Then she proceeded on down the stairwell. The dog made about 2 more circles on the landing. Then he went down the stairwell, and then the subject come out of the living room area. He used his left hand to shut the door, and he had an AR-15 in his right hand. He shut the door with his left hand. I dropped my service weapon, told him drop it, sheriff's office, and he turned to fire again, and that's when I fired.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. There's going to be obviously there's a lot of people that seen this video by now that's seen this interview. How do you feel about everything that transpired? Let's start with, how did you feel when you were coming up the staircase? When you breached the door, you were shot, you turned and you looked, nobody else was there. All 6 or 7 of these officers have retreated left you there. What was going through your mind at that moment? I mean, take us back to where you can help me understand, okay, Adam, this is how I felt as soon as that fire or that gunshot hit my leg.
I thought to myself, man, the guys are going to come get me. You know, they're in the stairwell, they're going to come and get me. But when I rolled over and nobody being there, I thought to myself, shit, I got to do it. I got to do it by myself. I've got to come out of this myself. And like I say, I just looked and I thought, man, nobody's coming.
September the 10th, 2023. It's about 3:32 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you are the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. Doesn't matter whether you like me or anything I say, do, or nor produce. I still greet you with that same universal greetings. You have a first, 14th, and so many other amendments to the United States Constitution to think and see, do, and say as you please, as long as you do it in a legal manner. This young man here is a victim of Barry Morgan, Captain Barry Morgan from the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department. This is one of the pictures of him after Barry Morgan turned off the camera and put him in his truck. I'm going to show you another one right quick. My sources told RRR, Raymond Research and Recovery, the Underground Railroad, that Barry Morgan and a couple of other officers beat him up like this here. And I believe it when you see what the Illinois State Police arrested him for. One of their trucks from the Mississippi County Sheriff Department here in Charleston, Missouri, was stolen by a suspect that was in custody. Ain't that something to show you what type of individual he is? We know Barry Morgan is a certified, bona fide coward, because when his co-worker, deputy, he might be a captain now, but Deputy David, let me see what his last name is. Well, Biscuit, we call him Biscuit. I got to remember his name. But when he was shot by a white drug dealer in Wyatt, Missouri, Barry Morgan and some of the other sheriff department personnel was there. They left David Watkins left him there for dead. He was able to shoot the suspect himself. That's the only way he survived. The Missouri Attorney General, the Missouri governor came down, or the Attorney General came down and honored Watkins for his being a hero. But this is what Barry Morgan doing. Then look what he did here in the black community on September the 3rd, 2023, on the black side of town during the Labor Day weekend. Look how he was threatening the black young people, freshmen, on the basketball court enjoying themselves. And you can see him with the mace shaking it up. And they said he told them if they don't get off that basketball court, he was going to mace they effing A. When you listen to the way he was talking to this guy, when him and the sheriff and one of the sergeants from the sheriff department here was allegedly saying that they was serving him a warrant, but we found out he didn't even have a warrant. But you see how he was tasing this guy even when he was down. But this was Barry Morgan is a time bomb in Charleston, Missouri, especially in the black community. The day that you see him on that basketball court and see Robert Hearns terrorizing the black people when they trying to celebrate the Labor Day weekend, Robert Hearns had his wife out there while he was allegedly on duty, unplugging these people's sound system speakers, and Barry Morgan had his girlfriend, who's a clerk for Robert Hearns at the Charleston, Missouri Police Department. She was convicted of DUI. Barry's convicted of battery on a suspect. But this is what, he's a time bomb running around on probation. If any of y'all see him or Robert Hearns or any of the crooked police or sheriff deputies doing something that you feel is violating your constitutional rights, let me know. Take a video, call me, and I will come on the scene free of charge. We know the NAACP is working hand in hand with these people. We know Lester Gillespie is because they let him get away. Did I show you both of them pictures? I want to show you again. This is in the detention center. When his visitors came, they took pictures. You see, but it's hard to get a crime put on police and people like Lester Gillespie because of the fact Susanna Wesley Learning Center is ran by all these people. Robert Hearns used to work for Susanna Wesley. The judge, Barb Barker, used to work for Susanna Wesley. Lester Gillespie, most of these black and white preachers, and the present prosecuting attorney, Clara Poley. These people are not only white supremacists. The blacks is black. The blacks is hooked up with the white supremacists, but they are a danger to the black community, let alone some of the white community that don't conform to what they want you to do. Peace be still.
Missouri Sheriff's Deputy.
Mississippi County Sheriff Britton Farrell says he stands by his captain, Barry Morgan, who faces charges of battery and official misconduct.
Here's a look at video from last September that shows Sheriff Farrell with Captain Morgan standing to his left. According to Illinois State Police, the state appellate prosecutor's office out of Springfield filed the charges against Morgan. They come nearly 6 months after the arrest of a man who allegedly stole a sheriff's department truck and drove it from Charleston into Illinois before being stopped in Johnson County. All state police will say is that Morgan faces the 2 counts for actions relating to that man's arrest. Sheriff Farrell, meantime, tells me their internal investigation found Morgan did nothing wrong during that arrest. Farrell goes on to say that Morgan, quote, has served and is serving Mississippi County and our profession admirably. Farrell also says it's unfortunate investigators would rather charge a fellow officer than
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
No.
Yeah.
Look careful. Hands behind your back.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
I'm down, motherfucker.
Hands behind your back. Turn around. Roll over
on your belly.
Roll over.
I'm gonna break your arm.
Roll over.
Roll over. Thank you. Come out there like that. Now we can talk to you. Stand up.
You've been served, motherfucker.
Stand up. Can I get my cigarettes? No.
How have I been served?
You really gonna come out here and give us attitude and then you want to smoke?
How have I been served?
See that passenger with it.
Right there. Been served.
From who? From who?
From us.
Ex parte, buddy. And you got a warrant, so you're coming with us.
Ain't got any warrants?
Yep.
No, I ain't got any warrants, man.
We're just telling you, you do.
You do have a warrant. Let's go.
it.
I'll transport them. That's fine. Come on.
Can I get my phone?
Nope. You don't need it. Let me unlock my door.
Yeah.
Come on. Jump on in.
I got you. I'm gonna secure his house. Make sure it's locked.
That's fine.
We could be doing we're really getting busy.
Right. Exactly. Let us enjoy ourselves. Why are he being like? That's why you're not to turn it off.
You gonna buy that, ain't you? Huh? You gonna buy that? No, I just don't want it.
Do we need to rotate or something? Cause why can we?
Right.
Like exactly. Why you so mad? Exactly. No music.
Music will get us out.
Exactly.
He said if don't nobody leave, he finna mace them.
Oh my God.
Never. Look at him. He's shaking up the mace.
Oh my God.
And then everybody running. I would never run. That's illegal. Go.
You get everything you need, sir.
Is there anything else that you needed?
I'm not leaving my property until we both leave together.
Is there anything else?
I don't even trust her with you.
Is there anything else that you?
Okay, why don't you trust her with me?
First of all,
Hold on, wait, stop.
You did. This is my house, huh?
You own the house, but you rent it. Stop it.
Listen to me, man. Fred.
Yeah.
Okay, go on and do what you're gonna
I'm
do.
going to do what I'm doing. I'm taking a report.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call fire. I can call Brent.
Don't do that to him, because he ain't even done nothing.
No,
This is what you're doing. You getting
I
on
opened
to
that door because she was
everybody.
in the way.
But you getting
She
on
was
to
standing behind us
everybody.
No,
and committed an assault.
You getting on to
And a
everybody.
burglary because you can't go into your house
You're
if you've
get-
rented it to somebody.
Let me tell you what happened, sir.
You barged into the door. I seen it.
The door was open.
Y'all stop.
The door was
The door
closed.
was open, but she was
And
standing
she was
behind it.
standing right there. And I asked her, we coming in.
Pushed it
You
over.
said she was a
Now we
sheriff.
can do this. You can leave or you can.
It's 23 degrees here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. I had to get on back in my car, but I just want to say this here. You know, KFVS 12, Standing Democrat, newspaper, all the other, the Enterprise Carrier, and all the other news outlets that's here in southeast Missouri, in the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County area. Why don't y'all put what I just showed y'all on this here, combine all of them together and see if you gonna honor somebody like Brenton Farrow or Barry Morgan. Brent Farrow and Barry Morgan was allowed to go to that raid over there in Sikeston, Missouri on February the 15th, 2023 to arrest those 19 black guys that allegedly call themselves the Not Boys. Let me tell you why. The election is coming back up. You see, the election is coming up. And you seen all them entities that they had. They had ATF. They had the DEA. They had the National Guards. When do you see the National Guards come for a raid like they did over in Sikeston, Missouri? Sikeston, Missouri. They doing this here. This is a publicity stunt. They had the news lady riding around. It's a publicity stunt for Brenton Farrow, a millionaire, a racist millionaire, to be reelected. Brenton Farrow is a crook and he hired crooks. Look at the Baker guy that he had. He fired him, a black guy that worked it for him, that had a white female go into a lawyer's conference room at night, took out her cell, made her give him some oral sex. Look at John Blakely. The appellate court said he's not to be trusted, but he left one place in Sikeston, Missouri, and then back over there here in Charleston, Missouri, in Mississippi County as a detective. Look at Barry Morgan. Ran, a coward. He's not only a coward, the man is a abuser too. Y'all didn't hear about when he was he got caught, I believe, in Scott County in his vehicle having sex with a 19-year-old while he was still married, not to the one he married to now, But the other one, the one he married to now, is just like him, a convicted felon. DUI. But that's the type of people that Brent Farrell has on his force. That's the type of people that Bobby Hearns hired. Now let me see y'all look at this whole video in its entirety, seeing a man wounded, shot down by a felon, and his sheriff in the Captain Barry Morgan. See, they don't mention his name, but Barry Morgan was one of the ones that was running. Peace be still, y'all.